Hey there, YouTube. This is Dave, and this video is going to be collaboration training for the new generation in SharePoint. One of the things I've been most passionate about, and one of the reasons why I became an MVP, one of the reasons why I am a co-organizer to a major cities user group, is because of the fact that the community for both SharePoint and for M365 is what's right about the entire concept of the technology industry. It's extremely friendly and extremely well put together to try to share information and ideas on how to collaborate better. I'm shooting this video in 2026, and what's interesting about 2026 is the fact that it is SharePoint's 25th anniversary, which is absolutely amazing. A lot of collaboration has been done. A lot of changes and updates around SharePoint has been done, from Project Tahoe all the way up to the SharePoint Online that we all know and love. As nostalgic as I'd like to get on the fact that the golden age of SharePoint was approximately 10 to 15 years ago, which is kind of scary when I say that, the long and the short of it is that's the truth. That's the case. That was when SharePoint Saturdays happened. That's when the SharePoint conference was a big thing. The first SharePoint conference that I ever attended was in 2006. So you can kind of guess that a lot has changed since then. And 2006, that was when SharePoint Portal Server 2003 was out. That was when WSS 2.0 was out. And that was pretty much when things really started to roll for the SharePoint community. As technologies continue to increase, one of the things that a lot of companies are starting to find out is the need for collaboration training. The concept of collaboration is constantly evolving and changing as technology improves and different applications and ideas are thrown out there and become a mess in the world that we currently live in as far as work. There are so many different things. Don't forget shadow IT. All of these things can become a problem if you let them. And one of the things you want to make sure is when your company collaborates, that you want to do so with the same end goal in mind. People collaborate differently. People look at data differently. Don't let that fool you as being, we don't need to train collaboration. They'll do their thing. The problem is they will do their thing, and most likely than not, it may not be towards the goal that you're looking to achieve. So this is something to keep in mind. I absolutely love history, and one of the things that I've been doing over the years is kind of paying attention to my surroundings. And as far as my family is, I'm so old that I dated Cleopatra before Mark Antony. Joking aside, I am part of Gen X. I was born in 1970, and I remember things like not being able to come in until the streetlights came in. I also remembered all kinds of other things. The only time we were allowed to stay inside was when it was raining. There's a plethora of different things that I could go into. However, long story short, Generation X started in 1970. I am 56. Well, I will be 56 years old later on this year. The long and the short of it is, I've been around for a while, and I've been observing things that have been going on around me. In 1989, dial-up started. I mean, I've been playing with computers since Commodore 64, TRS-80. A lot of nostalgia. We're talking pre-internet. We're talking about things where I had a 2600 baud modem for my Commodore 64, and let's just say I had to do a direct call to somebody who also had a modem as well in order for them to talk to each other. That was not quite internet-like, other than the fact that you could send messages back and forth. And I think I did that once, and I ran up the phone bill like you wouldn't believe and got in a whole heap of trouble. That being said, dial-up came up in 1989. That's about when dial-up started to become prominent across the United States and certain parts of the world. As time progressed, dial-up became a little bit more available to a lot of different places in the country. This was kind of a revolution as far as being able to go online. Now, a lot of you probably remember in the initial or the beginning days of dial-up, you paid per minute. It was brutal, especially if you did something like either play a game online, like a word game or something to that effect, or you were talking to somebody and let the time escape from you, you would run up a pretty significant phone bill. Well, later on, as dial-up continued to pop up and sprout up everywhere, something became more popular, and that was unlimited internet. And unlimited internet became the thing where anyone who's charging by the minute, they end up being ran over by and left on the wayside because of the fact it was no longer needed. Unlimited internet is exactly what it sounds like, and therefore people could jump online, stay on it for as long as they like, and not have to worry about, basically breaking the bank. So there was that point in time. Then in the early 2000s to, let's say, 2003-ish, 2004, throughout to 2009, 2010, broadband became a thing. DSL, cable came online. And then all of a sudden, people who were used to calling to get onto the internet no longer was the case. That was actually something that became passe, if you will. With broadband connections, people started to stay online 24/7. And that is pretty much what has happened in the last, I would say, approximately 25 years. So when you hire new employees into your community, to your family, into your corporation, whatever you want to call it, the long and the short of it is you are actually going to have to deal with the fact that they have never been offline. They don't know life being offline at all. It doesn't exist. They've been raised on iPads, their phones, consoles, PCs, you name it. Heck, with the Internet of Things, even some of their refrigerators are probably connected to the internet. It's crazy where we've gone completely bonkers as far as tying things into the internet. It's fine. Welcome to technology and how things continue to advance forward. But the long and the short of it is that has happened, and that is the way it is. And so what we're going to end up dealing with is with these new hire employees. They've been online their entire life. And what is going to end up happening is because they are they're online their entire life, they know how to upload files into a web application. They've done it on Facebook and Pinterest and all these different things, X, you name it. They know how to upload files. They know how to leave messages. In fact, some of them probably talk better through their messages than in IRL, in real life. Long story short, that is our new next generation of individuals who are going to be our workforce. We want to keep that in mind. As I said at the beginning of this video, one of the things you have to keep in mind is that your new employees, because they've been online for their entire life, are going to come in with preconceived notions of what collaboration is. And if you allow them to have carte blanche, you may end up find out that the direction that they're going in may be a complete opposite from the goals of the company, or maybe even just askew and maybe negatively impacting what your company is trying to accomplish and achieve. So because of that, you want to actually have training and guidance for your new employees, because they'll be able to pick it up quickly. They just need to know what the boundaries are, what places they can go to, what they can do, and what is either frowned upon or should be avoided in order to ensure that they are in this alignment with the company. Here was a quick list of about 6 different items that I came up with that may be an idea of how you can train your new employees and your old employees as well. Sometimes a refresher is good, and sometimes you've not had the opportunity to train in collaboration. So even the employees that have been with you for the existence of your entire company may actually need some guidance as well. And so it's something to keep in mind. The first item is hold office hours. I'm saying a lot of our ITs are probably stretched thin. We don't have a lot of resources. We don't have a huge budget. And for that matter, you may not actually even know how to deal with it, or you only have one individual who has any subject matter expert level at all. I'm going to call the subject matter expert SMEs. Your SME is probably going to be overloaded. If you have a large company and you have only 1 or 2 covering 1,000 or more employees of subject matter experts, that's going to be a problem. Your SMEs are going to burn themselves out trying to do that. So there's got to be a way to handle that. Holding office hours is going to be the best way you can possibly handle this. And the reason why I say that is because of the fact that what that will allow you to do is be able to have anyone in your organization come to your office hours, have it as a first come, first served basis. People just raise their hand using Microsoft Teams as an example. And as the hands go up, the questions get answered, and your subject matter expert not only is answering a question that was had by one individual, the others on the call will also be trained up accordingly as well. And so what will end up happening is you're going to slowly build up a power user base, because you're going to have certain individuals that will come every week to, if not ask a question, listen to the questions and actually try to make that a reality. Another favorite of mine, of course, anything that has to do with food is a favorite, but the long and the short of it is offering a lunch and learn opportunity. And maybe it's a brown bag event where they bring their own food. Whatever the case may be, having it as a way to break the monotony of the day. I find a lot of people do get interested in having during their lunch break, they can eat their lunch while they're actually learning and being trained up. This is a great way of handling it. And a lot of people usually enjoy that, kind of the whole concept of breaking bread with fellow friends and family members, if you will. If you're lucky enough to actually have a budget, then bringing in a third-party expert, subject matter expert from your organization is always a benefit as well. You're going to have a fresh pair of eyes, someone who has probably spoken with other companies, maybe in your field or across the different verticals. Whatever the case may be, bringing in a subject matter expert from the outside is going to actually increase your utilization as far as training is concerned. It's just going to have a budget associated with it, so you may not be able to do that nearly as often. Another approach is actually making your own training material, actually creating your videos, creating up a SharePoint a library with some phenomenal white papers and documents and how-to guides, but you can also create videos as well, and have Viva Learning point to all of the content that you've created for your learning experience, so that way they can actually go to Viva Learning and actually have a proper training session or training sessions around the collaboration that you want to do in your company, whether it's SharePoint, OneDrive. There are so many options, and this is a great way of doing it. Another thing that I found is having each of your employees on your team come. Let's say you have a weekly team meeting, and what you do is go round robin and say, okay, George, why don't you come next week with something that you found in SharePoint or found in OneDrive that you just learned and you think is pretty cool or pretty awesome. And what you do is they go out, they come back, they share their experiences, and over time, you can even have each other train with the things that they stumble across or maybe have learned on their own time. And this is another great way to promote training. Lastly, hold a SharePoint hackathon. Have them create a mashup. I have a video on that. I'll leave a link somewhere around here if I remember. Long and the short of it is, that is another great potential where they're going to end up trying to do different things because that is what a hackathon kind of encourages. And so what they'll do is they'll go out and try different things. They'll try to automate a business process, or they'll create a mashup to do a CRM. Whatever the case is, that is a possibility that could take place, and some really neat ideas could come out of those hackathons. That way they can teach their other associates what they've done during the hackathon, how they learn things, and actually be able to teach them what they learned during the hackathon as they stretch themselves to try to win. In conclusion, training your new generation of employees is absolutely essential to the success of your business. If you want to have a powerful workforce that is actually working for you in the same direction that the senior leadership wants the company to go, then the way to do that is by training up your new employees in such a way that their collaboration is pointed to the point, as in to the point, and it's also going to bring the company forward towards that goal quicker and more efficiently. With the right amount of guidance, the new generation of employees that comes into your workforce will be a force to be reckoned with. No pun intended, but the long and the short of it is they can actually bolster your ability from a collaboration standpoint and bring your company to new heights because of using their knowledge of being online and being digital in such a way that it'll actually become a boon to your company. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Do me a favor, leave a comment down below what you liked about this video or your own personal experiences on how you deal with training, especially with the new employees that are coming into your workforce. Also, subscribe and leave a like. Help me out with the algorithm, and I will see you in the next video.